Dawson Rider Team.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Dino Charge T-Rex Zord from the Beast Morphers Season 2 line. Just like with the recent 3-pack of figures I covered, they did a special release of Rexy here in honor of the Dino Team-Up. It is not a transforming one, so it doesn't include the other two to form the Megazord. It doesn't start to form the Megazord, and there's other two sold separately. He just literally bees Rexy. It's kind of more of just a Zord figure with a little bit of a gimmick, but it is kind of similar to the Deluxe Beast Morphers Zords. It's got a similar feel to the plastic and quality they used with it, kind of that weird, not quite matte finishy, but sort of just like sawdusty feel. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's kind of got that feel to it. A little bit of a cheap feeling plastic to it. It fits in with the general feel and look of those Zords, even though it doesn't transform with them and anything like that. But setting aside the feel, which like I said is kind of cheap and whatnot, I think it looks pretty decent. Like, it's not the most amazingly detailed, amazing Zord you'll ever get. But I think for what it's trying to be, it's pretty solid. It's got all the main details. I think it's got a lot of personality. It's not quite 100% accurate. I feel like the eyes are a little small, but I still think it has enough of the sort of cartoony personality of Rexy. I think it works out in that sense. And it's, you know, pretty much to scale for the most part of like what the Bandai one looked like. I'll put up here a picture in a second of the original Japanese release and then the Bandai release, but it's kind of, I think, more a little bit to scale with that. It's kind of hard to tell here with that, but it's kind of more similar to that. Now, it has really two main gimmicks, which one is its head and tail wag. If you hold the tail here, his little head will wag and kind of adorable. And if you hold the head, his tail wags. So it's just kind of like a nice little fun gimmick. Nothing too special, but I think it has a lot of personality, kind of fitting Rexy, which is just kind of fun. I think kids will get a kick out of it. And you know, his head chomps too, it kind of, you know, goes back up like that, and you can do that. It doesn't, it's weird though, this piece here, I'm used to it having in all the previous releases, like this little folding down gimmick for when you're transforming it, and it's weird here to just have this one solid piece. There's also two little handles here, so I suppose you can have a Ranger riding it. It's kind of funny because they don't have, as of this moment, a like regular Beast Morphers Dino Charge red figure. What I mean by Beast Morphers is the Beast Morphers line. Like, we just got that triple pack, which does have a Dino Charge Ranger, but it's pink. And then of course you have the Lightning Collection, so you'd think that they would either include a Red Ranger figure or, you know, have one in the line that you could use for that. But it looks like that's kind of what that's made for. So you got the tail wagging, and then the other gimmick here, as you can see, he kind of crouches down. It's kind of cool, like he's meant to do a jumping feature, which I'll show off in a second, but it does give him a lot of personality. Like, it looks like he can just move around and get excited like a dog, like happy to see you. But let me kind of zoom out just a little smidge so you can see this exciting jumping action. Jump around! Jump around! Now I'm thinking about the opening of Mrs. Doubtfire. So that's kind of cool. Like, it's harmless, fun. It's a little gimmick that doesn't really interrupt the way the toy looks or anything. It's just kind of meant to be a fun feature. I think this is definitely a release that kids will get a kick out of, or a jump out of. Wait, this is supposed to be timed better. Jump out of. There we go. Because, you know, it's just kind of a fun little Rexy figure. It's a cool looking Zord. It's got some fun little gimmicks. You know, it would be cool if it was the whole Megazord, but still, it's just kind of a fun release. As far as collectors go, you know, if you really just want a Rexy and you're having a hard time finding a reasonably priced one online, because I know the Dino Charge mech go for kind of expensive, and then the Japanese ones can always be a little expensive, then this is a perfectly serviceable toy. It's not the best toy, it's not the worst toy. I just think it's a fun, harmless release. I think the thing I like most about it is just I think it's pretty cool that they decided to do these special releases like this and those figures for the Dino Team-Up. I think that was really cool, smart way to capitalize on it. The only last note I have here is when you get this guy, his feet are separate, and the feet do look a little cheap. That's probably the cheapest looking part of it, is the feet and the arms. They're that really cheap looking gray plastic. But anyway, is when you get these separately, you have to put them on here, and there's two little clips on the side where you put them on. Be careful when you do it. On one of them, I kind of misplaced it wrong for a second, and one of the clips started to bend, so it's definitely cheap. So be careful when you're putting these on not to snap the little clips, or they won't snap on. But yeah, that's about it for this one, guys. Just a fun, harmless release. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can get notifications for my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.